Tell me about consequences to USA-Israel if they attack Iran next week. ChatGPT said, if the US and/or Israel were to attack Iran next week, the consequences could be profound, immediate, and long-term, affecting not only the region but the global economy and security. Here's a breakdown of likely outcomes. Fire immediate consequences. 1. Regional war ignition. Iran would likely retaliate against Israel, U.S. military bases, and allies in the region, e.g., Saudi Arabia, UAE. Attacks could come via ballistic missiles, drones, cyber attacks, and proxy groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon, Houthis in Yemen, militias in Iraq and Syria. 2. Missile strikes on Israel. Hezbollah, Iran's key proxy in Lebanon, could launch thousands of rockets into Israel, possibly overwhelming its Iron Dome defenses. Israeli cities could face heavy damage and civilian casualties. 3. U.S. bases attack. U.S. military installations across Iraq, Syria, Bahrain, Qatar, and elsewhere would become prime targets. American troops could be killed, drawing the U.S. deeper into a wider war. 4. Strait of Hormuz closure. Iran could block the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point for 20% of global oil supply. Oil prices would skyrocket, potentially over $150, 200 barrel within days. Globe showing Europe, Africa global and economic consequences. 1. Oil and gas prices surge. Severe disruption in Persian Gulf oil exports would shock global markets. Gasoline, diesel, and heating fuel prices could spike worldwide, triggering inflation again. 2. Global recession risk. A sharp rise in energy prices could stall economic recovery in the US, EU, China, and elsewhere. Stock markets could crash temporarily due to uncertainty. 3. Shipping trade chaos. Global shipping could be disrupted, especially for energy and goods moving through the Middle East and Suez Canal regions. Insurance premiums for vessels in the region would surge. Goods diplomatic fallout. Collapse of U.S. alliances. European allies, already skeptical, may condemn unilateral or preemptive strikes, especially if not coordinated. NATO unity could suffer. 2. End of nuclear non-proliferation efforts. Iran would likely abandon all pretense of nuclear restraint and rush to build a bomb. Other regional powers, e.g., Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Turkey could seek nukes too. 3. China and Russia involvement. Both may use the opportunity to expand influence. Russia could supply Iran militarily. In exchange for more oil or alliance building, China may condemn the attack, potentially offer economic aid to Iran, and strengthen anti-US blocs globally. Terrorism. Cyber attacks. Iranian-backed groups may launch terror attacks abroad, targeting Israeli or American interests worldwide. Cyber attacks could hit critical infrastructure, power grids, financial systems, oil pipelines. Iran. What would Iran do? Iran is unlikely to collapse quickly. It would likely mobilize nationalism, activate all regional proxies, use asymmetric warfare for years, pursue nuclear weapons openly. 选票箱 U.S. domestic impact. In an election year, an attack could rally support around the president in short-term, rally around the flat effect, or spark backlash if Americans see war as unjustified or costly. Protests, especially from younger and anti-war groups, could escalate. Summary. Category likely consequence. Military regional war, Israeli cities bombed, U.S. troops hit. Economic. Oil prices soar, global recession risk. Diplomatic. U.S. isolated, Iran gains sympathy in global south. Security. Terrorism, cyber attacks, proxy conflicts escalate. Nuclear. Iran fast-tracks nuclear weapons program. If you're asking because of recent tensions, I can look up current developments. Would you like me to check real-time info about Iran, Israel, or U.S. military movements by messaging ChatGPT? You agree to our terms and have read our privacy policy. Don't share sensitive info. Chats may be reviewed and used to train our models. Learn more. Attach search study voice. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info.